Oh, why? Pull yourself, pull yourself.
Oh, quit scolding, Kaz.
Don't you big mouth me.
Oh, you can't lambaste me no more. I'm a grown-up lady.
And so ornery. I declare Mr. Sam must have been crazy as a Betsy Boo to get hitched up to you.
Oh, you don't mean that, you cantankerous old fraud.
Come on, Annie. Get them foots to running.
Yeah, listen, that tax collector catch you.
By the time you get through applying your levies on property, us ranchers might as well give our steers away. We ain't gonna stand for being robbed.
Now, Sam, as your attorney, I must remind you that Mr. Ballard is the adjutant of the county, and to warn you, there's a trace of sedition in your talk.
It ain't the first time he's heard it.
Yes, you're right, Star. You Texas men are straight talkers.
We've been known to act in a pinch.
Sam, I'm hiding the cab. We ain't got no cattle to sell.
No, of course not, Mrs. Starr. You and the rest have broken down your fences and let your steers run wild. But I'm going to have them rounded up.
Confiscate 'em, eh?
Like the last time. Meat to feed the Confederate Army, you called it.
Yeah, them calves of ours was born 6 months after the war was over.
Y'all ain't going to confiscate Annie, is you? You working here, Kez? No, sir, just visiting.
Well, I've got some work. Come to my place tonight.
I can't come tonight, sir. I got to be at the meeting down at Willow Grove.
It's community sing night. Kez is one of our best singers.
Now, if you don't mind, Mr. Ballard, I'd just as leave and get off my land. I'm within my rights, ain't I, Mr. Cummins?
Rights? I'll teach you rebels your rights. Come on.
Mr. Sam, you ain't figuring on giving in, is you?
Don't be so nosy. What if he ain't?
Just what I was asking, is he ain't? Community sing at Willow Grove.
I'd like to take that in.
You're going to. Maybe that night rider does a little singing into their ears during these festivities.
I know most of these people. If I can come in contact with a man, 10 to 1, I can name him.
Oh, in that case, Gravens, you might be worth the money I'm paying you.
We're just jumping to conclusions. Bellstar may have been telling the truth.
No harm in my sending the boys around to see, though. Be sure, is there?
What we want is justice. There's only one way to get it. Organize the vigilante committee and go to work.
We will. They can't rob us. We'll fight the carpetbaggers.
You better go with him. He may need help. What do you want, you galvanized Yankee? Busting in here like this?
Nothing from you, sister. Where's the night rider? Come on, speak up. Where is he?
Craven just give me a tip. The night rider slipped out and headed for the hills.
Maybe we can't beat those Yankees, but we can still outrun them.
They'll be showing up. You better take them saddles off and turn the horses loose. Come on, Billy.
Let's take a look at that inn. They might have got in there. Surround the place. You two come with me.
Story, and right from the very start, it's a sad, sad story that ends with a broken heart. He had gone to look for gold, so they soon could wed, I'm told. But the mortgage on her little ranch was due, and that villain appeared into view. It's a sad, sad story, and right from the very start, it's a sad, sad story that ends with a broken heart. In his eyes there was a flash as he twirled his black mustache. You sat laughing cruelly. It's a sad, sad story, and right from the very start, it's a sad, sad story that ends with a broken heart.
Go on. What happened?
Her resistance was so low, what to do she didn't know. So she married the villain, and that's her fate. Her cowboy came back too late.
That's too bad.
It's sure sad.
How long you been here?
Most all evening. Rode in from the north. Saddlebags are still packed.
Where's your horse?
Well, he ain't exactly a house horse, so I left him out in the barn.
Well, where's the owner?
Out there in the kitchen.
Come on. What are you doing?
Answering fool questions and taking a bath.
I'm wondering about that bath.
Try one sometime. Set your mind at rest and improve your looks. Here, Bub. Give my back good going over.
What's his name?
Vance Corbin. Just got home, been north. Suppose you tell me who you're trailing, Cap.
The Night Rider.
Who's he?
Celery looks for nights.
Did he get away?
Oh, Vance, you dumbhead. If you had him, you wouldn't be looking for him, would you, Cap?
No.
No.
Say, he ain't very bright, is he?
Say, I did see a couple of fellas ride by here a few minutes ago. They were riding a breeze.
Which way they go?
They were heading towards town.
Why didn't you tell me? You two fellas ain't worth a darn.
Depends on how you look at us, Cap.
And I'd call you in that cap business, too, if you weren't an old man and crazy. Taking a bath on a Tuesday.
This is a case of getting into hot water to get out of hot water.
Tom, Sam Starr, his wife, Belle.
You've named enough people to fill Libby prison.
But you told me to go.
All right. I'll arrest the ringleaders. Now, the important thing is, are you sure it was Hornaday?
You sounded like Hornaday.
Well, you can see, can't you?
Mr. Ballard, you know I'm nearsighted. Even with my glasses on, the man's beard looked jet black.
Well?
Been combing the countryside all night, sir. Ain't no sign of him.
But I told you which way they went.
I followed him, sir, but I lost him somewhere near the Hornaday Inn.
Yeah, it's quite probable. I have every reason to believe the Night Rider is Hornaday.
I don't think so, sir. The old man was home, taking a bath, and the young fellow was sitting around and singing and...
Singing? What kind of singing?
Singing. Song singing.
Was it pleasant?
Maybe so. I ain't much of a critic when I'm working.
He's probably the other one. He sang at the meeting, and very, very pleasantly.
Oh, you imbecile, you.
Well, you see, I don't know him personally, and...
Stacy, just hold on to that list. Send a detail out to arrest Simon Bell Starr. You and a few others ride with us back to the inn.
I've got it. His father used to be judge here. He died before the war.
Whose father?
Vance Corbin, he,
Sings very pleasantly.
Indeed, yes. I was quite carried away.
Pick up Sam and his wife.
Right.
Smoke it, Yankee.
Well, Maribel, where's your manners?
Vance, I sure am glad to see you. Sit down a spell and let's have a visit.
What about the war?
Oh, my army will take care of that. Hey, Sam, you met Vance last night.
Yeah, hi. Gonna be around long? Plan's unsettled. What's this all about?
That low-down outfit of Ballard's is aiming to arrest me and Sam.
Where's your horses?
Up the trail. We can't get to them.
Do you make a break for them?
But you might get shot.
Well, I won't die of old age if I stay here.
Shucks, I'm running out of ammunition.
All right, man. Take him in.
I'm going back.
Oh, he's all right. You can do him more good on the outside. Go on.
There's a suspicious-looking body of riders coming.
You better get going, Night Rider. They're probably looking for you.
What about you? You helped us get away, didn't you?
Yeah, but they never got close enough to recognize me.
Come on, Belle.
Zach, Eli, keep a watch out here.
Morning, gentlemen.
I've come to see your uncle.
He's not here.
There's the fellow that was here with the old man.
Have your men make a search.
Go over the place. You upstairs, too.
Just what is it you fellas want?
He's Vance Corbin, all right.
Oh, so you were at the Night Riders meeting?
It was a community thing.
Perhaps. Mr. Craven says he saw and heard you, so I'm placing you under arrest.
What's he being held for?
Questioning. A probable accessory and definitely under suspicion.
Of singing in public. It ought to be a lesson to me.
Howdy, Colonel.
Davis, sir, from the headquarters of General Wright, military commander of the Department of Texas.
I'm at your service, sir. You'll find my papers all in order.
Later, Ballard. I'm here primarily to determine the cause of civil disorders in this county.
Well, it's very difficult to deal moderately with people of lawless character.
Have you tangible evidence of this lawlessness?
A jail full. Unfortunately, the Night Rider is still at large. But we're convinced it's a man named Hornaday. Oh, will you have Vance Corbin brought from your cell, please? Smoke, Colonel?
Continually. Always borrowing them. No pockets in uniform. Who is this Vance Corbin?
You're wasting your time. I don't have a ranch to buy my release with.
You'll face a firing squad as a seditionary.
Just a minute. May I have another?
Yes, certainly. Help yourself.
Thanks. Smoke, Corbin?
No thanks.
Oh, I see. As a Southerner, you prefer to forego northern hospitality.
I just finished a year of it in Fort Delaware prison. Just got home last night.
Oh, Confederate soldier, eh? Well, you boys put up quite a fight.
You didn't do so bad yourself.
This is ridiculous. All this small talk, it's outrageous.
I agree with you. That's why I'm releasing Corbin.
But he's an accomplice of the Night Rider.
He couldn't be much of an accomplice. You don't get out of Fort Delaware nights. Young man, according to Governor Hamilton's proclamation, the people of Texas can regain their citizenship, rid themselves of martial law, and elect their own civil officials.
Well, how can we get that right, sir?
By taking the amnesty oath.
They'd have to swear a new allegiance to the Union. These rebels would never do that.
You seem to be pretty sure of us, Ballard.
Corbin, if you, an ex-soldier of the Confederacy, were to swear allegiance, your people would follow.
The fate of Sam Starr would be determined by a jury of his own people. Mr. Ballard would be out of a job.
Don't worry about me.
I won't. It's a mighty big step.
But a step forward.
But what assurance have we that the North will live up to its bargain?
None but my word and my hand, soldier.
I'll take both, soldier.
Miss.
Missed? It or me? Now stop your fire, child. I ain't continuing. This flirtation with death is all.
Oh, now, Kez, if I'm going to shoot my Sam out of that jail, I can't afford to be in doubt.
You done shot 3 apples off my head. How much more convincing does you need?
Get back against that tree. I'm going to practice my knife throwing.
I'm gonna tan your hide.
Here now. Says I, you go on back outside and keep your eye peeled. Bell, try to act like you got good sense. Now, this Colonel Davis may be all you say, but...
He is, Gabby. And if you'll give yourself up, it'll show you aim to play fair.
After I'm in jail, Ballard might get to playing rough.
You can beat Ballard by taking the amnesty oath. The whole county will follow. Then your fate will be in the hands of a jury of citizens.
Well, they're honest hands, but it'd feel safe in them.
How do you know so much about this oath?
I took it.
Well, I'm ashamed of you. So far, the North has only defeated us by force. What you ask is moral surrender.
But you don't understand,
It's as
Jeannie.
plain as day, Vance Corbin. You, a Southerner, selling out.
Hush, Jeannie, hush. One of Robert E. Lee's boys ain't ever selling cheap. What's the wording in this here amnesty oath?
I do solemnly swear in the presence of Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the results of your first post-war election and to present your officials.
Do you think he'll appoint me judge?
You're the only lawyer in town. What do you think?
You have elected as your sheriff, Vance Corbin. I am appointing Wilbur Cravens as judge of the court of Purvis County.
Looks like you sort of fell into your job, Judge.
Just keep on your own feet, Sheriff.
I aim to.
All right, Sheriff, bring out your prisoners. With the lifting of martial law, my last official act is the releasing of Gabriel Hornaday and Sam Starr.
Does that mean me too, Colonel?
Yes, you too, Mrs. Starr.
Well, Star, looks like my chief trouble's going to be keeping the ladies in line.
Oh, you don't have to be sheriff to do that.
Self-government. Hoodlums turned loose.
Ballard, you want to join the celebration?
Colonel, you made this lawlessness possible. I hope you won't regret it.
You know, Ballard, the trouble with you is that you haven't the heart of a rebel. Do you mind?
No, help yourself.
You know, there's something more friendly about a cigar from a friend, especially if it's a good cigar. And yours are unusually fine. Oh, Ballard, do you mind if I make out my report?
Oh, not at all. Go right ahead. By the way, what is my status now?
I'll recommend to General Wright that perhaps you'd feel a little more comfortable with a transfer.
That's very considerate of you. I'm deeply grateful.
Not at all.
Where's Cravens?
In his office.
Keep an eye on him.
Anything you want, sir?
You haven't a dust cloth handy, have you?
Mr. Ballard is mighty particular about his books. He doesn't like them tampered with.
Oh, an avid reader, eh? Or perhaps just interested in marine law. It's the only book here as clean as a whistle.
Keep away from there, sir.
You fool. Here, put the stuff away, quick.
He discovered the records. I had to.
Get out, quick. Now, go on. Keep in hiding.
But where?
Go to Mose Johnson's cabin. Tell him I said to hide you.
You'll stand by me, won't you?
Why, of course I will. Go on.
What happened here?
I warned him. All that riffraff in the street shooting indiscriminately must have come through the window.
You saw this? An accident?
I'm not sure. As long as Hornaday's out of jail, mob violence will run riot in this town. He's an agitator, a rabble leader. Send your men out and arrest him. Sam and Bell Star, too, they're all seditionists.
Where do you get the authority?
I take it. And by morning, I'll have full authority to put this town back under martial law.
Where will you be then, Sheriff?
In jail with the rest of them. Morgan, arrest him.
Look out, he's got a gun.
Sorry, I'll trouble you for that.
I'll toss you for it.
Let's go back.
Oh, all the dirty, sniveling cowards. You couldn't catch nobody but a poor old man and a defenseless woman.
Belle, if you didn't go around behaving like a saber-toothed tiger, you wouldn't be in a cage.
Well, I want my husband.
So do we, and you'll get him. What you got me back in here for? Defying authorized authority, seditious utterances, and inciting a riot. Ain't you overlooked disobeying curfew and playing in the streets? You confessing that? Yeah. No!
Ah, you big lummox. What am I in for?
Disturbing the peace, shooting guns, throwing knives, and general conduct unbecoming a lady.
Yeah, sounds tame. Ain't you got a good murder, too?
Ain't the shooting of Colonel Davis good enough? Is he dead? He looked that way when his soldiers carried him out feet first.
But he lifted the martial law. He was a good Yankee. He can't be gone.
Martial law's back on, and he's gone where the good Yankees go. I want to see Sheriff Corbin. The ex-sheriff's hightailed it to parts unknown.
Colonel Davis's outfit, ain't it? Where are they going?
I ordered them back to headquarters.
Splendid work. Splendid.
I've just begun. I'll own this whole county, every acre of it, before I'm through. When they get my next tax levy, they'll be glad to get out and cart their junk with them. We'll call the stubborn ones seditionaries and show them a firing squad. That's where you come in.
I'm to be of help?
At this moment, you're my right arm. You're to order Hornaday and Bell Star to trial tomorrow morning.
It's as good as done. On what charge?
Sedition, of course. Carries a penalty of death.
Again, I must congratulate you, Mr. Ballard.
Just call me Ambrose.
Thanks.
Now, Kezai, did you or did you not hear the defendant, Bell Star, speak seditiously against authorized authorities by threatening at one time to shoot her husband's way out of jail?
Is you speaking as the judge or as the lawyer?
I'm acting as both.
Man, you is busy.
You're out of order.
Well, sir, Bell Star is the rambunctionist, gun-totin'est white lady hereabouts. I ought to know, because I raised her from a baby. Do a wrong to her or hern, and look out to get shot loose from your socks.
Get on with the testimony.
But for defying the law and raising up against the government? No, sir. My Miss Bell ain't never done no such thing and never would.
Court is still in session. I have a mind to fine you for contempt.
Oh, shucks, I ain't got no contempt for nobody. Not even you, Mr. Cravens, you old mugwump.
Order, order. This being a joint trial, we will now get on with the other defendant, Gabriel Hornaday. Same charge, sedition. Witnesses for the state will now be heard.
Looks like the state's plumb out of witnesses today, Judge.
And swear me in.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
Take the witness chair.
Hornaday, by his own confession, is the night rider. And I do testify as a witness at one of his meetings. I heard him urge his followers to resist recognized authority by force.
You lying, belly-livered scalawag!
Order! Order! Witnesses for the defense will now take the stand.
Whoa! Whoa! You folks just sit back and give me a chance. I got a little witnessing to do for myself.
You're the prisoner.
I am.
Who's your witness?
I am.
Who's your attorney?
I am.
Who's your...
Now, everything that is, I am.
Swear him in.
Folks, I've lived a long life right here in this community. I've known you all since you was knee-high to grasshopper.
You're being sworn in.
Do you try to tell the truth? Oh, I do, Guffey, I do. Go away, will you?
Take the chair.
Gentlemen of the jury, you all know me. So I'll go right ahead with my summing up.
And how long will it take the prisoner witness attorney for the defense to sum up?
Just long enough to remind them that they all know you. Well, there it is, boys. That's my defense.
The jury will now retire for a decision.
Ain't necessary. We already reached a decision. Neither one of them's guilty, past, present, or future.
I declare a mistrial by the supreme authority vested in me as adjutant of Purvis County. I pronounce the prisoners guilty. I sentence them to death before a firing squad.
Miss Jeannie, your chicken and hoe cake make watching here real pleasant.
Thank you, Captain, but you're wasting your time. Vance Corbin will never come here. Kezai, what have you got there?
Molasses.
Do I need it?
You need this bad.
Well, get in the kitchen. Look out, Kezai.
That's all right. I'm easy to get past.
You sure is, Captain.
Oh, I'll get your dessert, Captain. That's not molasses in that barrel. Whatever it is, I don't want it.
Kez, roll me back.
Vance Corbin, are you crazy? What are you thinking of?
You most of the time. If that's being crazy, it's a mighty satisfying state.
Take this into Morgan. Talk to him.
Keep him amused. Are you going to cut me a slice of that pie, or are you going to cut a slice of me?
Oh, haven't you got any feelings? Don't you realize you got Uncle Gabby and Belle into this? Oh, what did you come for?
You ask the darndest questions, but you can sure cook like a Chinaman.
Vance Corbin, I could strangle you.
If what I've got in mind fails, Ballard will save you the trouble.
Are you going to help them?
I'm going to make a stab at it. Tonight I want you and Kez to go to the jail.
My old mistress promised me when she dies, she'd set me free. Old Aunt Jemima's done gone home. Sister Caroline, can you dance to be mine? How that, mister?
Pretty good. Never saw one of you fellas yet didn't have your brains in your feet.
Yes, sir, mister, us would do pretty good if we could walk on our heads. You ain't going, is you?
Yeah, won't get me some more of that pie.
Oh, don't you bother, sir. More pie, I'll tell her.
Out of my way, I'll get my own pie.
Mister, there ain't more pie.
Oh, you needn't have come out here. I was just going to bring it to you.
I like it in here. It's more homey. I guess you don't think I'm very bright. You know, easy to fool. But if this ain't the best piece of pie I ever tasted, then I am a fool.
That's more than I expected.
You fooled me, too.
Well, I'd be glad to give it all to you, but I'm taking the rest over to Uncle Gabby tonight. He always loved my cooking, and tomorrow they're going to set the date for his...
Gosh, I didn't mean to upset you.
Roll me out, Kez.
I said rain in the face? That was the chief's name. You're a dead Indian.
And what'd he say?
Well, rigor mortis having set in, he remained incommunicado.
So there's sandstone caves under here, huh?
Yeah. Natural crypts. Indians used to use them for burying grounds. Right smack dab under our feet. Why, many's the time I've come up here and called down, rain in the face? What are you doing? And he said, nothing. Nothing.
Well, he's doing something now.
That must be Vance. He remembered the caves. We got a chance, Belle. We got a chance.
You really think we can do it, Gabby?
Sure we can. Cattle rustlers dug their way out of here years ago. Say, he's got a right good memory. It's a good thing he has, the young whippersnapper. He got us in here. Let's make a lot of noise. I left my home, begin to roam the day I left my home. Although I'm free, I long to be a certain place I know, where skies are always blue, where pals are good and true. Someday I'm going to a certain place I know.
I used to ride where trails are wide, that's where I used to ride, until one dawn I fell upon a certain place I know, where every pal you knew still holds an IOU. They'd like to send you to a certain place I know.
Her name was Sal, she was my gal. I knew that Sal was out to get my dough.
She's unemployed, so he'll avoid a certain place I know,
where skies are always blue, where pals are good and true.
Someday we're going to a certain place I know.
I'm rough and tough and rough. Just call my bluff if you are tough enough. If I shoot last, I won't get past a certain.
Well, I don't have to listen to that.
After our life is through, when we must say adieu, I suppose I'll send us to
a certain place I know.
Oh, Mr. Guffey, could I see my uncle?
You could if I'd let you, but I ain't. He's a condemned man, and besides, it's after office hours.
Some home-cooked food. Maybe you'll give it to him.
There ain't no action here for him to chop his way out with. But I has taken the liberty of putting a bottle of liquor in there for the old man's misery.
I'll go into this carefully.
I hope you will. Thank you, sir.
Good night.
What'd you put in that liquor, Kaz?
Just a little flavoring of my own design.
Will it hurt him?
No, just render him uninterested.
Sheriff is underpaid. All you got was a bunch of keys.
This might mean a jailbreak. Get your men around back.
Ambrose, you're in a terrible hole. This time I can't help you out.
Well, you can get in with me.
Stand where you are. Douse that torch.
Where's Gabby?
It's too late now. Come on.
We zigzagged him dizzy. Can you make it, Sam?
Yeah. I only wish I had a carriage with a plush seat.
He's hurt bad.
Old Mose Johnson has a cabin near here. We'll borrow his buckboard. Hey, anybody up?
What you want? Is that you, Mr. Vance?
Yes, Mose. We've got a sick man with us. Get your buckboard ready. We need it.
Mr. Vance, you is wanted. I can't help you.
Do as you're told and harness up. You drive, Curly.
All right.
Let's go. It's Ballard's men.
Did they come in here?
No, sir. I led him right to the buckboard. I wasn't messing with him on account of Mr. Stacy being there.
Smart boy, Mose. I wouldn't want them to stumble onto you, Stacy. You scared too easy. Well, we'll be getting back, Morgan.
You can't leave me here. I'll go crazy. You got to get me away. They saw me.
Who saw you?
Corbin. I tell you, he saw me. I was standing at the window. You got to get me away.
I won't leave you. You can depend on it. You're too important to me.
We can't have him on our hands. What are we going to do with him?
I know a very safe place. Morgan, I'll take the others back to town. You and Irwin stay here. I think Corbin will be back if he recognized Stacy. He knows he was my secretary.
If he returns to ask any questions, I'll answer him.
Be sure you have a gun in his ribs if you do.
I'll bring him back one way or another.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You put me someplace safe.
Very safe. You can depend on me, Stacy.
Don't you see what your failure means? They'll kill him before you can make another attempt.
I'm for gathering the ranchers and pushing the jail over. That's right. Let's shoot him out. They're expecting just that. They'll be ready for it. You'll not only lose your men, but you'll justify martial law. There's a better way if my hunch is right. I saw Ballard's man Stacy at Moses' cabin.
Well, what difference does that make?
He hasn't been around lately. What's he hiding for?
Oh, I don't know.
He does. He knows something that Ballard don't want us to find out. I'm going back and grab Stacy.
Then I'm taking over, Miss Jeannie. Going ahead and get the ranchers.
Oh, thank you, Curly.
We're moving, Ed. We got to get every man we can and be back here this afternoon. Right on the jail, full force.
I'll go with you.
How about you, Belle?
Not me. You're aiming to get yourself stepped on, Miss Jeannie.
Well, I'm not afraid, even if you are.
Why, you fool-headed female. Come on, let's get going, Vance. Sam, Kez will take care of you. Vance and me is trailing skunks.
Vance, you must be right for Belle to be willing to miss out on a fracas to trail along with you. Get along, both of you. You'll be all right.
Well, we're going to get the ranchers and attack the jail no matter what you do.
Sister, no smart cavalryman ever rode into action side saddle.
Hardly a man is left in town. They seem to have disappeared into thin air.
To General Wright, Military Commander, Department of Texas. Execution of night rider at sundown. Mob feeling runs high. Apparent activity of vigilante. Hasten troop of cavalry to prevent mass attack. Situation urgent. This will prove my stand for martial law. Get it off at once.
The monotony of this is getting on my nerves.
Well, it won't be long now, Guppy. They're executing me this afternoon.
But not till 5 o'clock.
Did you hear it?
What?
The quiet. I don't like it.
up that gun, Corbin. Stacy, he's with Ballard, and that's where I'm taking you.
Don't take it back, mister. Please, please.
Get up out of there.
No, yeah. Am I winning?
If you can stand on your feet, I'll give you a draw. Are you all right?
Just getting warmed up. What do we do now?
We've got to ride back to town and find Stacy.
We better turn these fellas' horses loose. They might wiggle out of these ropes.
All right. Get over.
Hey, Vance, look. Blood. Came from up there.
Stay here. Stacy. Stacy. Who did this?
Ballard.
Can you talk?
Get me to General Wright's headquarters. He's got to know I killed Colonel Davis.
Why? Why did you kill him?
He was smart, Colonel Davis was. Too smart for Ballard. He found the records of his thieving. Now I had to protect my boss. So he could shoot me in the back.
Looks like your shoulder.
I guess he was in a hurry.
We'll patch you up somehow. We'll ride back. Stacy's story will stop the boys. I'll hold them there till you bring Wright. You've got to burn the breeze, Belle.
That old general's gonna have the fastest ride he ever rid.
Ambrose Ballard's insurgency has disrupted my plans for lunch. Apple dumplings, too.
This ain't any kind of work for you.
I'm going with you anyway, Curly.
I gotta see your boss, soldier.
General Wright's on his way to Purvis City.
He's gonna have company.
How long ago?
Quite a spell. You got a real good start on you for now.
Come on, Stacy.
General Wright?
I'm Ballard.
Ah.
They're going to attack us, General, the vigilantes.
Vigilantes, huh? Well, if they try to interfere, we'll be ready for them. Deploy your men. If they ride in here, open fire.
Yes, sir.
General Wright just took an attack into Purvis City. They're there by now.
2 men and a woman, sir. Not from the ranchers. On fire!
Stacy.
minute, General. I've got to explain something.
I'll see if you can stop those fool ranchers.
I'm ready.
What's your name?
Stacy, sir.
Oh, yes. Well, Mr. Stacy, I'm ready, too. Ready to hear everything you have to say.
Vance, what are you doing here?
I'm sheriffing again, Gabby.
Guthrie, I'm going to miss you something terrible.
Gabby.
But suppose you'd have gotten yourself killed.
Would you miss me?
Well, I couldn't very well get along without you.
Would you mind telling me why?
Because
You what, Van?
because you can cook like a Chinaman.